Greetings, people of the world! Matthew back with you here in Novora Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. It is Year 2, Day 8 for EDSS here in the Realm Reborn, and last time we did some mandatory quests as part of getting the transition made of having the Signs of the Seventh Dawn relocate to Mordona from Fanlin. The first two challenges were quite a bit of a pain. And the third one was no different, as we had to go through a second run of the Sunken Temple of Karn, which I did off camera, and now that I've accomplished what I had to do, it's now time to speak with our old friend Slathborn here to complete the last of the mandatory challenges here. Hey Slathborn, it's been a while. You'll have to explore the Sunken Temple of Karn if you're to find a wardstone. Succeed, and you'll earn the undying gratitude of the Adventurers Guild. Fail, and Thal will reward you in the next life. Well, thankfully, the latter will not be taking place. You found a wardstone! Incredible! Ah, can you not feel the power that emanates from this humble stone? Eh? Not really? Just like a Gordanian, practical to a fault. Let me tell you, there is more true magic than you credit in taking all possible precautions. One thing's for certain. That temple managed to stymie more explorers than ordinary dangers can account for. If any of that can be attributed to this stone, then it's guardians and beastmen who will have to settle their accounts with the gods. And so with that, we complete this challenge, plus take our choice of items, which I can easily sell for good money, which I'm pretty much expected to do, and so that is now done. Our 3 mandatory quests that we had to do to assist the Adventurers Guild here in Mordona are finished. So now let's take Slathborn's next challenge. And he has a challenge entitled Hest of the Best. Slathborn's brow is clouded with worry, and the forecast calls for rain. Unless you can save the day. What to do, what to do? Ah, Edie! Mayhap you can cut through this knot of ours. Revenant's toll grows, yet does not prosper. We draw adventurers from far and wide. Or rather, the Allegan ruins draw them. So busy are they collecting tombstones and relics that they've no time for calls from the Adventurers Guild. I fear that many who come to the toll have no sense that we are a guild. You visit Rowena's establishment, do you not? That's the kind of bustle and camaraderie I'd like to see at the guild. Now, tales of your daring do are known to all. You're the genuine article, and I'd humbly ask for you to render some service to us in this matter. Might you join a guild hest, and show others the glory and honor of these undertakings? The Oldon Adventurers Guild is currently seeking valiant volunteers to rescue a noble guild's turtle, and you are the man to inspire others to join in this hest. You have joined a guild hest before, yes? If not, you must seek out one of the battle wardens stationed in Bent Branch Meadows, Horizon, or Swiftperch. They will guide you through the process. Yeah, now this is something that I haven't actually shown on camera, at least I don't think so. But guild hests are like little mini challenges. Like, if you played a game like Gran Turismo, where you have to do various challenges in order to gain a license in order for you to take on more advanced challenges, guild hests basically run under a similar idea. They are little mini challenges that you can do with people. And in this instance, we want to take Hero on the Half Shell, which I guess would be a reference to, of course, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Which I recently saw on the WatchMojo.com that the modern remake of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was considered one of the worst movies of the year by them. But to be quite honest, is a modern remaking of a TV show or a movie ever good? Because let's face it, such movies and television shows, such remakes of them are known to be of, even though they try and hype it by giving you a lot of visual impressiveness, it's just not all that good. Which is why I usually stay away from TVs and movies these days, because, like, seriously, how many good things are there anymore to watch on movies or TV, considering so many of them now are remakes of something that was already done before, and they all pretty much suck. Yeah, I'm finding it harder and harder to watch TV shows or movies because I'm just finding the quality is just so bad. And obviously, I'm not alone in echoing that sentiment. But aside from that, hopefully we'll get the opportunity to take on this quest quickly. Alright, finally we got to go do this challenge. Yeah, we have to wait for 15 minutes to do this one. But now we can finally do this particular guild test. Now this one works is that we have to, yeah, it says to capture the guild turtle that we are trying to rescue, but we have to get rid of all these ads that are in the way, all these amateur raiders, because apparently this guild turtle, as suggested by its name, is obviously very, they're obviously very invested in this particular turtle, and they want it for their own. Plus, there's also Fs, which are gonna play run interference here. So the best thing you can do is just keep pummeling away to your heart's content. And then once you have eliminated all the enemies, your next objective is to weaken the guild turtle yourself. And so you'll just keep doing this, and whenever it says sort of stop, get out of the way. Just get out of the way, let it do its thing, and then keep attacking. Now once you get the guild turtle down to half health, then you'll want to move it. You'll have to move it to where there is a guild, not a guild, I was gonna say a guild patch, but an herb patch that induces sleep when you light it on fire. And so once we get the guild turtle down to half health, there will be an enemy that will spawn that will allow us to get the fire that we need to ignite the herb patch and put the guild turtle to sleep. Keep in mind, our objective is not here to kill the guild turtle, we just have to weaken it. Alright, we should see, yes, okay. We've been told that there's now a fire sprite in play. It usually will be over here. Sometimes it'll also be on the far end, over where the stairs are. Wherever it is, you gotta find it, you've gotta destroy it, and then you have to have the tank draw it over to where the herb patch is, which is right over here. Go ahead, select the patch, it'll say trigger the trap, and then just have the tank keep pulling to the point where the turtle will walk right into it, and the tank needs to pull further. Pull further. It needs to pull it further, or else if you take too long, then the patch will actually go out. The herbs will actually go out, and you won't be able to get what you were wanting to accomplish. Like, I already knew to stop attacking. So, we've got that finished now. So obviously the tank's not going to get the commendation for this one for being a bit of a dummy. But yeah, I've done this challenge many, many times. So this is relatively easy for me. Alright, we got that taken care of. And so now, once we come out of the challenge, all we need to do is speak with old Slaffborn here, and it's done. Ah, Edie! The Adventurers Guild has marked the completion of this guild test and honors your service. Already the toll buzzes with talk of the Hest and the impromptu fellowship born of it. Not a few adventurers have chosen to join one themselves. Know that the Scions will hear of your success. And so that we get the money, plus we also get Icarus Wings, which, as it says, can only be used during PvP, which means you can only take it to the Wolves' Den or the most recently introduced version of PvP, but I'll talk about that another time. So, let's go ahead and take Slaffborn's next mandatory challenge, entitled Pass the Smell Hest. When a man like Slaffborn thinks well of you, you're wont to find yourself performing a dangerous and unpleasant task in short order. Ah, I forgot to mention before, I received word from the guild that they've seen more adventurers join Hest in the last few days than in the past moon. But of course, one good turn leads to another, we hope. There's a Hest that might be too much for those who have expressed an interest. Your presence could mean the difference between life and death. There's a mole bowl. Now don't you roll your eyes, I've smelled my share of them too. As I was saying, there's a mobile making a nuisance of itself that needs get rid of. Not that I have no faith in the other volunteers, but I suspect a few of them have felt the lash of a mobile's feeders before. Ignominy isn't something we can afford at the present. We have appearances to keep up if we are to maintain our growth after all. A seasoned adventurer like you ought to know that a bad reputation's like bad breath. No one will ever speak frankly of what ails you. So yeah, this is now, if you haven't been doing guild hests prior to this point, you'll have to keep doing the ones that keep appearing on your list until you get to the point where you have these particular guild hests available. So the next one we have to take on is a level 30 guild hest, which I do not actually have yet. So yeah, give me a moment to complete the flicking sticks and taking names guild hest, and then we'll move on to get more than a feeder. So be back in a moment. Okay, so after completing the guild hest that I needed to take care of before this one, we now have the one that we require, which is to take on this big, ugly Morbull off in the distance here in this driving rain. And thankfully I got some members from my free company to come and give me a hand, because the wait time on this particular guild hest is quite long. We're talking like, in the average wait time it was said was, if you're just going in on your own and you're using the warrior class that I'm using, is 25 minutes. So suffice it to say, yeah, I cannot wait to get started just as soon as our fourth party member shows up, wherever they may be. Don't tell me they vanished into thin air. Because the other person's from my FC. Yeah, your internet must be really slow today. Hmm? Oh yeah. Alright, you shut up. You're right behind me. Yeah, I can now see you all too. Let's do this. Take on a big ugly toxic Tamlin. That's what they're calling this thing. Let's do this. So basically, like any other run-of-the-mill Morbull, whenever it casts Bad Breath, get out of the way, or else you're gonna suffer a lot. So yeah, as you can see on the screen, there's a lot of bubbles that are going by us. Only certain ones. Yeah, I think it's the purple ones we have to kill, or... Oh no, it's the blue ones. It's the blue ones. Alright, so let's start getting rid of some of the additional foes that are coming onto the screen, because yeah, we could easily run the risk of getting overwhelmed. Well, thankfully we're playing a video game, whereas in we cannot actually smell what the person running this guild hest is smelling. Whoa, that's bad breath. That is bad breath. I don't want to be enduring it. I don't want to suffer from it. No. Alright, that's taken care of. So much focus can easily go on the Morbull here that you can lose your way, as it were. Yeah, a lot of attention is taken off of the big ugly Morbull here. Ooh, and our tank's in trouble. Okay, now on the rotten jam. Alright, one more to go. Right. Oh, bad breath. Alright, bubble is gone. Now I can focus on this guy again, at least for now. Use Invigorate to get myself some points back. Alright, hit the steel bubbles. Yeah, lots of tiny bubbles floating around. Let's go, I'm in trouble, bad breath. Back on Warble, and then... Right. We'll take care of this, Tank, don't worry, we've got this. We've got this. Oh, okay, got that one. Yeah, it's a good thing they throw in the purple bubbles. It will be. Okay, we don't even need to worry about the remaining bubbles that are coming in, because we've got this. Ah. Oh, that is a breath of fresh air. Gotta give it to the tank, yeah. You've done well, sir. Thank you, everyone, for your help on this one. We'll find out soon enough. I don't think there is another guild hest after this one. Or one that's required within the storyline. So let's speak to Slapboy and see what he has to say. You return, and smelling as sweetly, I rejoice to remark. Your reputation precedes you yet again. The seventh heaven is abuzz with talk of your deeds. We've already signed up a score more for new guild hests. Revenant's toll grows and prospers to the benefit of the guild and the Scions. Did I not tell you there is much magic in being prepared? And so with that challenge taken care of, we get the money, plus we gain feathers, which is another item that is used in PvP if you ever do it. So now, time for Slapborn's next challenge. And this one, I believe, is not going to be one that we need to focus on, but we do get a more unique item for this challenge entitled, You're Gonna Carry That? Slapborn seems intent on putting you to work yet again. Well, not yet. I can't tell you how grateful we all are to have you here. Now more than ever, we have a major crisis on our hands, you see. One which will demand your full attention for weeks, if not months. I'm sorry, Edie. If you've made any of the plans, you'll just have to cancel them. Why? You honestly believed me, didn't you? There's such a thing as being too long-suffering, you know. I fear we may have overdone it with the errands, necessary though they were. Anyway, your work here is done, for the time being at least. Master Alphanode has sent word that you are to report to him at the Waking Sands. I gather he wants to know how you've been getting on. Be sure to tell him how welcome we've made you feel, won't you? I believe I'll do just that, so thank you, Slapborn. And with that, time to finally go back to the Waking Sands at long last. Okay, made it back to the Waking Sands, so let's speak with Alphanode and let him know that everything's finished here in Mordona. Ah, Edie, you've returned. I trust they've kept you busy in Revenant's Toll. We've had nary a moment's rest since you departed. Despite our best efforts, however, we've begun to fall behind. Oh, that's not good. No matter, we shall soon make up the lost ground with you here to help us. Now, there are a number of packages which must needs be delivered to Revenant's Toll as a matter of urgency. Don't give me that long-suffering look. What long-suffering look? I only require you take them upstairs to Tataru. She will handle the rest. The packages are scattered about the halls, but each is clearly labeled, so you should have little trouble finding them. Now, if you excuse me. Your report? Later. Well, if you say so there, Mr. Alphanode. So with that in mind, let's go get the required packages that we need to take from various people on various places. And one hiding behind this partition over here. But I'm acting like a mime when I'm standing in front of it. And then we got another one over here. Ooh, this is a huge one. Yeah, I don't think all my impressive miming skills are going to make this box any lighter. And then one over here. Oh, this one looks much lighter. Yeah, I do all the heavy lifting and everyone else sits on their butts. Like, you call yourself Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Shouldn't you be doing stuff that Scions of the Seventh Dawn would do? And then one more over here is actually in Minfilia's chamber. So let's go in there. And right over here on the sofa, I guess, or the bench, whatever this is supposed to be. And so now we turn this over to Tataru. And so away we go. Yes, indeed. Welcome back. And so now, turning over to Tataru. Here you go, young lady. Ah! So much to do! So much to do! At this rate, we'll never get to Remnant's Toll! Well, this should help. Oh, bless your heart, I had completely forgotten about those. Let me check my labels against my list. Oh, these are the last ones! Thank the 12, it's almost... Oh dear, I did contact the courier, didn't I? It just so happens that I've been meaning to contact you, Edie. I have an important personal request, you see, which I couldn't possibly entrust to anyone else. Of course not. So, with that challenge now complete, we get money, plus we get a new minion known as the Buffalo Calf, which I will now show on screen after we go ahead and use it. Yeah, you have to use a minion in order to actually make use of it, and then you go into your minion guide. And as you can see, I have quite a few collected here, and we summon the Buffalo Calf here. Now, it doesn't do anything special, it just follows you around, just being the little buffalo calf that it is. But as you can see, it's quite the enthusiastic little sort. So, just to show you what they look like. So now that that's taken care of, we'll, oh, okay, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. Alright, so with the Buffalo Calf now off the screen, let's go speak with Tataru and take on her next challenge entitled, The Things We Do for Tea. Tataru regards you with a grim countenance. Whatever could the matter be? Preparing for the move is taking a terrible toll on everyone's mental and physical well-being. People have been carrying on for days at a time without barely any food or drink, never mind rest. Some have been too busy to visit the privy, for God's sakes. I try to lift their spirits, but encouraging words simply aren't enough anymore. Given that nothing short of hitting them over the head with something heavy will persuade them to rest, my only remaining option is to try improving their diet. I know just how to do it, too, with a special tonic proven to revive flagging spirits. But for that, I require Highland tea leaves, and the one merchant I know who sells them is completely out of stock. Harvesting them myself isn't an option either, as the plants only grows in Carthus, and I'm in no position to leave the waiting saints at present. But you are, Edie, and since you now understand how important this is, you'll surely agree to assist me? Great! I'll take that silence as a yes! I'll take your vow of silence as a yes. I learned the recipe from an Asgardian acquaintance of mine who serves at Camp Dragonhead. Midgustle's her name. She'll know where to obtain Highland tea leaves. I'm sure of it. Godspeed! And so with that taken care of, to Carthus! To Carthus as our journey continues. Hopefully, yeah, the person we need to speak to is in Camp Dragonhead, so we do not have to go very far in order to speak to this particular individual, and hopefully we won't need to travel all that far in order to find the required tea leaves. So we just have to wait for myself to load on screen. There we are. And yes, as always, it is snowing in Carthus, and is it not beautiful? So, Midgustle is going to be in this particular place. We just need to find where exactly. Ah, here you are. Yes, we found you. Ah, now there's a face I shan't soon forget. Not after all the chaos you left in your wake. 'Twas for the best, of course, but still.
The Tato sent you in search of Highland tea leaves? Ah, had you come but a few bells sooner, I'd have given you my remaining supply. Alas, you did not, and now I have none.
Well, that sucks.
Where did I acquire my stock? Emmanuel, where else? He sells more than wines and spirits after all.
Yeah, and so now we go over to Emmanuel, who's actually the primary merchant here at Camp Dragonhead. Or he stands next to the primary merchant here at Camp Dragonhead. I should have remembered that. Ah, Eva, it is a pleasure to serve such an esteemed personage as yourself. Alas, I cannot furnish you with that which I do not have. Still, I know not when my next shipment will arrive, but I feel it will not be soon. Assuming you cannot afford to wait, might I humbly suggest that you consider harvesting the leaves yourself. If you travel to Boulder Downs and scour the riverbanks, you should have no trouble finding the plants. The real challenge will be keeping the local fauna at bay while you set about picking the tea. But what a mere beast to the brave adventurer who fought at Lord Holchefant's side. Well, if you say so. So, summon the chocobo and let's get going! Let's get going, running through Camp Dragonhead, and we have to go south because he said Boulder Downs. And for those of you who remember, this is the particular area where I, of course, crossed paths with Estenien when he told us that we needed to get our various pieces of the initial Dragoon armor. And so, because of that, we have to make our way southbound. Out towards the observatorium, and then we started going west, as you saw on the map, collecting the tea leaves as we go along in 4 different locations. So as we walk by Skyfire Locks, yeah, we've spent more than a bit of time here while we're in Carathis. In fact, I believe that person, I was thinking that person might go up to meet with the person that we had to help to get them pardoned after being initially accused of heresy. Can't remember who that was, though. I know it was another lord, because there are lots of lords here in Carathis. So, we're now walking, or riding the chocobo in this instance, past the observatorium, and now on to where the tea leaves can be found. Past the Goobues, and the Ice Sprites, and past these beautiful lamps that I guess would light the way for those who are entering into Carathis and make their way to the observatorium. That would be their first stop. So yes, this was the river that was being mentioned about by Emmanuel, and so now once we cross the river and officially into Boulder Downs, we can start collecting the various Highland tea leaves. We're hopefully going to try and avoid enemy contact as much as possible while obtaining this stuff. I cannot make any guarantees, but we'll see how it goes. In fact, the first one we'll have no choice. We'll have to fight in order to acquire this stuff. So let's do this. Triple threat. Triple threat, and then get out of the way of that attack, even though this looks like damage from it. Alright, one more copy is down, and now let's get the other one. As we listen to the awesome organ music that's used for battling when you're here in Carathis. Alright, so try and find the spot where our tea leaves could be. Here we are. First of 4. And now moving on. I guess I'll have to get back on the chocobo for this one if I can just be allowed to summon it, thank you. Yeah, one of the issues I have with the PS4 version of this game is that the controls don't seem as responsive as they were in the PS3 version, which I think is very strange that it would be that way. I find that very odd. So, over here we should find the second of 4 Highland tea leaves. Hopefully we do not attract the attention of the monsters around here. Okay, yeah, hiding down here. Okay, yeah, these ones are smoking for some reason. And there's a reason for that. Getting these TVs automatically forces you to fight. And I got paralyzed. Yeah, a monster paralyzed me from behind, and that's not cool, man. That is not cool. And boom, one's gone. And paralysis now wears off, and now gets to go and do this thing. Got paralyzed again anyway, but it doesn't matter. The other enemy is dead. So that's 2 down. Summon the chocobo again. And I guess we're going to go back across the opposite side of the river for this 3rd one. And this one's positioned right near the riverbank and conveniently right next to a mud puppy. Yeah, you would do that, game, wouldn't you? And naturally, the moment I try and get my hands on it, the mud puppy attacks. Now that is so you. That is so you. Get off my screen. Take that. And collecting. Third of 4 Highland tea leaves. One more to go. And it's amazing these things can still grow despite the inhospitable climate that we're in. And this last one, well, we were going to have to fight anyway, but I'm going to have to get rid of these mud puppies before we even begin the notion of trying to get our hands on this last tea leaf. And I'll thank you for not puking mud at me, Mr. Mud Puppy. Thank you very much. Moving on. Take this. And you're gonna go down right now. And I fractured you. Yeah, you're not gonna be puking on me, thanks. Alright. Last set of Highland tea leaves. This one has the smoke on it, which means we're gonna have to deal with more of you guys. Yeah, it's been a while, but to be honest, it should have been longer. Yep, and thank you for not sneaking up on me with that attack. Yeah, you will not be doing that to me. I absolutely refuse. Get away this attack. It won't be much longer now until we get you gone. And we have. Perfect. So now that we got all the Highland tea leaves, we do not need to go back to manual to get them taken care of. We can just go back to the Waking Sands. And so that is exactly what we shall do. Okay, resuming recording. And so we have made it back to Tataru. And so let's give her the tea leaves.
I'm at my wit's end, Edie. This tonic is the Scion's only hope. Without it, I don't know what will become of us. Please, you have to find those leaves.
Well, thankfully, Tataru, I have.
You brought them! You really brought them! Thank you so much! There's no time to waste. I shall begin brewing without delay.
Yeah, you take care of that there, Mr. Taru.
A dollop of honey, a fresh sprig of mint, aloe extract just so. A tincture of tea, but no more than a hint to buoy my beloved bowl. Nick sighs and flesh ground to a paste. Then why is this suddenly turning into a witch's brew?
Tataru, is there more to you than meets the eye?
Yeah, the news! Ah! I knew there was something I'd forgotten to mention.
That you're turning into a witch?
Ill tidings, Edie, as ill as ill can be. Another crisis in the making.
Ah, crap. Well, at least we know you got the tea mole made. Hopefully it doesn't turn us all into frogs or something. So what would be good to take? I think just taking the... I guess these will do. So that quest is completed. Yeah, and what quite an awkward end to it as well. But we now have everything that we required, so that means we can now take on Tataru's next mandatory challenge, but that'll have to happen next time. So with the Witch's Brew, I guess, all now prepared, we'll go ahead and have, I guess, Tataru serve it to everyone because they're going to need to get their spirits lifted for when we finally make that transition. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. And when I join you again, we will continue in our efforts to help the Signs of the Seventh Dawn make their transition to Mordona. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Navora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.